All right, knees. I don't like how you complain when I bend you, but I could understand why. So, I understand that I can't do lunges right now. It's okay. I can still move you in other ways, and I'm grateful for that. So, fine, thanks. Good morning, you righteous light bringers. Welcome to another Wiggle Wednesday. And at the time of recording, it's my birthday. So I have woken up with an inspiration to talk about body and past. One of the things I realize is that I have not always been very grateful for my body. Which brings us to The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Just over time, the two grow together, and the tree continues to give things to the boy that the boy asks for. And it ends like this. Yeah. What if that is the way that we treat our own bodies? The body wants to give, it wants to give, it wants to nourish us, it wants to provide. It's there as a vehicle for us, for our minds, our thoughts, our spirit, whatever you want to call it, or whatever you may believe. The body is the mechanism that moves us through the world. It's not programmed to do otherwise. It's like it's programmed to function. Now, there's obviously things we can't control, and, genetics or accident or, emotional abuse that we've received, physical abuse that we've received. These things are outside of our control. And yet they have an effect on us, right? They impact us. They impact our gentle, precious bodies. And because we are in there with it, it's sometimes hard to distinguish that we are also the caretakers of our bodies. And I just can't help but think that that's just even too hard to think about sometimes because of, if we start doing an inventory of all the things that have happened to our bodies, or even all the things that we have perpetrated on our own bodies through our own lack of awareness, or just circumstances that were too difficult, so the bodies took the brunt of the pressure or whatever. It just is another thing that just feels too big to even fit into my brain, right? So how do we address that idea of this messaging we receive, like, oh, love your body and take care of your body and self-care and all that? And I'm like, okay, that's a great ideal, but how the hell do I do that? How do I not be the tree? How do we connect with our bodies after deep pain of any kind? And sometimes it's just the pain of history, right? Like, we've been in relationship with our bodies for X number of years, however many years, and experientially, however many years it feels like we've been here. And that has nothing to do with chronology and everything to do with your own experience and your own experience of your experience, if you want to get meta about it. And so it's like when we talk about that, it's just so big and airy, and it doesn't feel like it even has the potential to land home. So if what the goal is to have a better relationship with the body, whatever that means, then how do you get over the hump of past pain? I don't know if this speaks to you the way it's speaking to me, but just this idea of just gentle progress. Baby steps are the only steps that count in the beginning. I guess unless you're a super gung-ho person, which is great. I am not. Well, about some things. Anyway, certainly about my relationship with my body, I am not the person to just be like making these sudden leaps and sudden changes in lifestyle and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there's too much history, right? There's some stuff happening in here. So, what does cultivating grudging respect look like? I think it starts with a mindfulness practice. And in the context of wiggling, I think it could look a little bit like coming to the truce table with individual parts of your body. And maybe that is for you, maybe that will be your wrist. For me, I might start with my knees. Actually, if I'm being honest, it would be my belly. And it could be anything. It could be not a limb, it could be an organ or, a moment in your past. But I think if you can hold that moment in your heart and that body part in your heart for just a second, it might mean something. So, if you just came here for the wiggle, then will you join me in a 3-minute wiggle? And just a little bit of motion, just gentle, just taking note of how it feels to move your body a little bit in a new way. Just a little bit of peacefulness in the storm of a lifetime. Moving as gratitude practice, right? Just a little bit. It only takes a little bit to start. Yeah. Oh, I can feel it in my spine. It's a little stiff today and doesn't want to move very much, but it also feels really important to just do it anyway. Like, oh, that feels weird. Like, I didn't mean that in the sense of like pushing, but like the stiffness wants the motion. Like, the motion will help the stiffness, and not more about not letting the stiffness fill me with a trepidation that makes me not want to move at all, because that just kind of perpetuates it, right? Like, we're not about lifting 1,000 pounds or doing jazzercise while dating myself. Not about having the perfect body, or even the body we'll have 3 weeks from now. Just being with the movement that we can do right now. Little bit of gentle movement today. Gosh, it makes a difference. So, I'm going to close out today's video, but if you want to watch it again and do a little more, or just in your own time and in your own space, find a little bit more movement like that and just appreciate that something new, that little bit of something new really makes a difference. And if you feel motivated to try that 1-week challenge, to just, I feel really ambivalent about the word challenge, the 1-week invitation to check in with your body and give it a little grudging respect. A couple seconds. If you can manage a couple seconds all week, I really want you to know how important that is, how valuable that is. Even that couple of seconds of new space, that's the lever that moves the world. So, and I hope that as much courage as it may take to do something like this, you also afford yourself a sense of appreciation and accomplishment. You can do it! Thanks for joining me, and I will be back next week. I won't see you because that's not how this works, but maybe you'll comment. I'll see your comments if you comment. Okay, bye. Oh, tell me you can hear that owl.